what that is? You're gonna love this.
Oh my god.
That's all it is this. How annoying is that? That's all that is. Anyways, I'm excited.
So are we working on this car today?
No, we're not working on this car. This car's done. This car's good. The only thing we have to do is warm it up and test if the front main seal's still leaking or if that's seated properly now. If it's still leaking, then we got to change that, and that's it. And then this car's done. And we're good.
What car are we working on mainly today?
We're working on the other OG car, the one that everyone thinks is the hero car in the channel. The car that we're really going to be working on today is the OG Yashio Factory S15. Now, if you are a new watcher on the channel and you're wondering what this car is, first of all, if you don't know what Yashio Factory is, please put it in Google and have a look. Okachan, the owner of Yashio Factory, is the Silvia god, the S chassis god, the SR god. Anything to do with this platform, all the way from when it was conceived from Nissan, he is the god of it, all right? There's a reason why he's called that and labeled that here in Japan and pretty much worldwide. His stickers literally say, Sekai no Okachan, which means Okachan throughout the world. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. He is a god when it comes to SRs and Silvias and S chassis. Right, Daiki? Okachan is Silvia god.
Yes.
Anyway, so that aside, when I first started getting into drifting, Okachan took me under his wing. The whole reason why I got into drifting here in Japan is because he took me for a passenger run and I was like, oh, this is what real drifting is. And it was nothing like I had experienced in Australia. And at that point, I decided to just invest my entire life into it. And here we are today. But anyways, that aside, it's a very special car. We'll get into more details later, but the history of it is this used to be an old Gakudori car, which is like university school kind of based championship that I think the guys who ran D1 used to run. Anyways, the guy won the championship with it. He was super happy, but he was like, you know what? I feel like I've achieved my life goal of winning a drifting competition. So he handed the keys of the car back to Okachan, and he now is a very qualified surgeon or doctor at the main Yokohama hospital here, which is insane. But yeah, this car has a crazy amount of history. It sat in Okachan's storage lot for about 10 years, and then he saw potential in me, and we built this car together, and it became mine. So that's kind of like the gist of it. Very, very special car. But we rebuilt it with a brand new engine, turbo setup, and everything. It made 500 horsepower, and it was amazing. But I made so many mistakes on the build. So many. On paper and in theory, they're not mistakes. It's the right thing to do, but it never felt like a Silvia again, and I didn't like it. So we got to reverse some things and fix some things and change some things to make it good again. And that starts with pulling everything out and starting again. So welcome to today's video, where we re-Yashio Factoryify my S15. We won't be needing this for a while. This is actually really heavy. This one gives you little ropes to pull on. That's kind of cute.
Yeah.
RB25 transmission for an R34 GTT Skyline. This will be the new transmission going in that car. I'm sorry, we've just done a lot of talking, and I'm talking again, but there's no transmission or anything in that right now. This car became a parts car because I was so depressed about it. Okachan took all that stuff. Daiki took my turbo, then we replaced it, then Okachan took my turbo. It's been a whole thing. Anyways, lots of spare parts that I don't need anymore coming off that. So, right now there's a G25 on here, but I'm taking it off. I'm taking this exhaust manifold off, taking this wastegate off, taking the G25 off, because we're going to a bigger turbo. We're going to a G3660. I'm gonna try a little bit of a bigger turbo. This is a 2.1 SR, and this thing revs to 8,500 RPM, so we should be okay. It should be. Maybe I should do a G25 600? Maybe. I don't know. We'll experiment. The best thing is it's all V-band, so we can go from there. Now, one other issue that I have with this car is the exhaust manifold. The way that the runners run, it's a good manifold, but I run AC and a lot of other things, and it just gets too close to everything. So we're gonna be putting a brand new Artec manifold on here. As you guys know, I love Artec, and we've been working with them. Their stuff's getting on all the other cars, so we're gonna put it on this car, and I'm just super excited to also refab everything, because I can weld now. A lot of things have changed since we built this last, which is depressing because this thing was built like 2 years ago now, 2.5 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, there's a lot of good things on this car, but we're gonna make it great again.
Is there engine oil?
That's a good question. Yep.
Okay,
Looks
good.
new. There's no trans oil in it though, because there's no trans.
There's no trans.
Let me know in the comment section, guys. Do you want a sticker, just like a slap sticker that's like a checklist, and it's like engine oil tick, you know, diff oil tick, transmission oil tick, and then it's like transmission oil again tick. I don't know. I think that would be funny. But yeah, let's get this on the lift, I guess. I think that'll be the easiest way to work on this because we want to get the whole hot side off.
Oh no, I just realized. There's no transmission.
Yeah.
So that means we gotta all push.
Push? Yes, we have to push.
Oh no.
But this is an S15, so it's super light. Look into my eyes, Jungle Book. I'm gonna hurt myself. You know what? If it actually snowed in Tokyo, that would be so much fun tied behind a car. Anyways, if there's one thing we've got a lot of right now, it's transmissions. Transmission boxes.
And boxes.
We got the S15 on the lift, and we're about to start taking the hot side off. We shuffled cars around Skyline under Stagia, still waiting for the wiring harness on that. My friend's blue Chaser next to the blue abandoned S15. Gonna get these things sorted out very, very soon. After that's done, that's next, and that's gonna go really, really fast with the plans that we have for that. This thing, we'll actually be making some content on it really, really soon. Got a lot of work to do. It dropped oil everywhere. The front main's leaking. So yeah, anyways. But let's get this thing sorted. Also, can we just appreciate how much angle this car has with stock LCAs? Stock length LCAs, by the way, not extended or cut or anything. Such a good handling car, this thing. Look at that wheel. You can't see it because Daiki's in the way, but thing made mad angle. One of the best feeling cars to this date. I made an Insta reel about it. Go check it out. Anyways, let's get this front pipe dropped and we'll be mint. You know how it goes. Time to give birth to the SR. Let's get this off. So the G25 is perfect, right? It's a really good turbo, a lot of response. It's like the perfect, oop, little leaky boy. The perfect like 450 to 500 horsepower, right? Super responsive. But what if you want more, right? You could go to a G25 660, right? Now, how the turbo works is the G25, G30 part, that's the turbine housing. That's the rear kind of part of the turbo. That's not really changing. When it goes from a 550 to a 660, that's the size of the compressor wheel, the front of the turbo, right? Now we could go to a 600 or a 660, whatever it is, but we're pretty much already there at the G30 range. And I really want to try a G30 660 on this with Artec's new rear housing, the 0.75. I think it's going to feel incredible. So that's why we're changing this setup. We're going to go to that. It's 2.1. We should see boost coming in, I think at around right at like 3,800, 4,000 RPM. And I think it's going to feel really punchy and really good. It shouldn't be too laggy. If it is laggy, it's not a big deal. We'll drop down to a G25 600. But regardless, we still want to take this manifold off. As you can see by this manifold design here, it's a good manifold. It's 4mm thick, stainless steel, really strong manifold, and it's great. But because I run aircon and everything, and where the gate is, it's just way too close to everything going on here, and I want to try and keep heat away from this area. So I'm going to use the Artec manifold because that's going to put the gate down there away from all of that stuff, and it clearances all the AC lines so much better and makes just everything a lot easier to maintain and stuff up the top here. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to rip off all these studs and change everything around. It's going to be fun. Here we go. Yeah, she's off. You. Look at that, you can still see how nice this manifold is, all that stainless. This really is a nice manifold. I might keep this and use this for, I don't know, maybe another SR car soon. Who knows? Actually, this could be a good manifold to run on the, nah, I'm gonna just put another Artec on that as well. Maybe we'll get another S chassis and we'll use that. I don't know, we'll see. Or I'll just sell it. If someone needs it, just hit me up in the DMs. I don't mind shipping it either. I'll sell it with the wastegate and everything. Yeah, we're good. So next thing we got to do is order ourselves an Artec manifold. Hi Ben, can I have one Artec manifold? Thanks. Here it is. Damn, that shipping service, pretty good, eh? All right, let's get this thing open. Nothing like a fresh Artec exhaust manifold. Ooh, this is nice. As you guys know, SRs vibrate a lot, so it is kind of rule of thumb and common sense at this point that you always need a flex pipe on your front pipe. A flex pipe on your front pipe. Okay, so front pipe is the word for down pipe. In Japan, we just call it the front pipe, then there's the mid pipe, and then there's the rear pipe. Anyways, it's common sense. But at the end of the day, they include this with their manifolds now, which is freaking sick, super excited. And this is a big boy. Like, what size is this? This is fat. You can fit my whole, you can fist this. My whole fist goes through here. That's pretty big, right, Daiki? Yeah. Wait, does it fit over the whole lens? Oh, it does. That's a big boy. So this is meant for flow, and this is, I think this will be like 82 mil or maybe even more. And it's obviously, this is what you should be running off your turbo so that there's no back pressure issues. Let's just see real quick, how thick is this? Put your guesses down in the comments. Inner diameter. 92 on the dot. So we're gonna be running a 92 dump pipe on this. So we're gonna be fabbing that up ourselves with the flex pipe. And this is a proper flex pipe. What I love about this is it has the mesh on the outside. You can see the flex part on the inside and the flex stuff in here too. I'm trying to find a different flex pipe design. Here we go. So typically the older type of flex joins were these ones, right? Where it was this on the outside and the inside. But see how much of a restriction that is? Even though this is supposed to be 80 mil, look how much it cuts it down to in there. So it would be an actual restriction, flow restriction issue. These ones are proper flex pipes. They have the same, probably more flex, way more flex than what this does. Yeah, so much better. Anyways, so enough talk about flex pipes. Let's get this manifold on. Let me put some gloves on first because I don't want to put my black dirty fingerprints on it and have to clean it too much. Oh, perfect. Ooh. Look at this work of art. Absolute work of art. One of my favorite things about these manifolds is placement. Everything's perfect. Also, boost control. I have never been to a dyno where boost control from the spring, like gate pressure, without turning any kind of stuff in with the solenoid, is straight flat. Never. Always boost creep issues, even if you're running a 60 mil gate. This is designed so well internally that it naturally flows out here. This is like, and it's so perfect. We only run a 45 mil gate on this, on our SR, and on the Skyline is only a 45 mil gate. My tuner, Tanaka-san, wouldn't even believe me that it was a 45 mil gate, and I had to let him look at it with a flashlight under the car, and he was like, oh, it really is one. No one knows that you can use a 45 mil gate with proper boost control because the manifold's been designed correctly. I don't know, I swear it's a thing. But anyways, I'm sure there's people out there that make manifolds with really good boost control as well, that fab them by hand, but these are incredible. Also port matched to the head of the SR, and they kind of like cone in a little bit and thin up because it creates more velocity, and that creates almost like a Ventrini effect. I don't know, the thing that happens in carburetors, essentially it means it pulls it out even faster and gets into that turbo and gets it spooling even better. So you'll see response pickup, the sound that these things makes is great, and it's stainless steel, it's like 4 mil thick, it's super, super strong. And it's cast. And we good. So much room for activities. All right, let's get a couple nuts on that so we know where it's going to be position-wise and get that turbo chooching on there. All right, so now we're in business. The only other thing we need to do with this manifold install now is select our fire ring. So these V-band flanges, as you know, there's multiple V-band flanges out there in existence when it comes to turbos. There's Garrett ones, there's Precision ones, there's Borg Water ones, and now there's a Turbo Smart one. So many different industry standard V-bands. I don't know why everyone just can't come together and make the same freaking V-band. Anyways, frustrations aside, the best thing about Artec's product is you just pick whichever turbo you have and put this ring in. This is called a fire ring. This sits in here, and then that changes the V-band to suit whatever version of turbo or brand and make of turbo that you have. Obviously we're going with Garrett, putting the Garrett one in. Now, let's go and pick our turbo. So as you can see, we've got a pretty big range here of things that we're gonna need. First of all, we need a 45mm wastegate. Luckily, we got a brand new one here from Garrett, going straight on the car. And I have to say as well, when we went and dynoed the Skyline, that was the first Garrett wastegate I've used. And because these have a bigger diaphragm, it takes away a lot of the fluttering or like the little like kind of spiky stuff that you see when you're trying to add boost with a solenoid, right? This, perfectly straight. And with combination of the R-Tech exhaust manifold, I couldn't believe it. Like seriously, I hope I have a picture on my phone. If I do, I'll put it in the video. But literally, boost control and everything was perfectly flat the whole way. So, wastegate. Now we need a turbo. I think we're gonna go down this route. Or we'll go to G25 600. I'm just not 100% sure yet. We got everything we need. Let's go back. So, for fitting purposes, I'm gonna sit this guy on here. This is not the rear housing we will be using, but to get an idea of everything and what we need to order for fabbing up, this will give us a really good idea until we get that nice new housing from R-Tech. All right. There we go. And we can put a little bit of an angle on it there too, which will be nice. So stoked on this. Look at that. So much room for activities. Gosh. Now, one other thing that we need to change is our clutch flywheel. The clutch is fine, but we need the 6-speed flywheel, the fatter one, because when we go to the RB25 transmission, I don't want to have to machine the bell housing on that. You can just use the S14 S13 flywheel, but if you go to the 6-speed one, it's a little fatter and it just means you don't have to machine anything, which is better. But yeah, I'm really excited. We're gonna have this thing sorted out real soon. So now that we've got everything somewhat bolted in where we want it to be, I'm gonna start mocking up the intake side. Now, bear in mind, I can't do the full intercooler pipe stuff just because with no transmission, the engine's kinda, wants to move a little bit and it's probably leaning back a little bit. But what I can do is this side of things because we know the general direction that we want to go in. So we're going to be using this vibrant 90-degree tight radius cast aluminum bend that's going to come straight off this, just with exactly like what we've done on Daiki's car and the Skyline. And we got this little piece here that I've just made up, and I used the press with a special tool that kind of tapers this in, so it's going to match this and make it really easy for me to fill that V in when we weld that. And then we're going to end up with this beautiful, nice, perfect rib there. What do you want to call that? I can't think of the name right now, but we've got this on here and it's going to look great. And then that's where our silicon coupler is going to be. The way that I like to do intercooler pipings is 2 couplers on each side, going into the intercooler, going into the throttle body, and going into the intercooler, going into the turbo. Just with what we did in the Skyline, 4 total straight couplers, silicone couplers is what we want. So we're going to be doing this, and what I can do is I can weld these 2 together here at the bottom, and then we can work out where we want this, and then tack this and get this in place on the housing as well today. And that way we're ready to start getting the rest of the pipes done once we get the correct rear housing and the transmission on the engine. We're still waiting for some parts to come for the transmission swap and stuff, and once we have that and everything, we know where the final position of everything will be. So let's glue these together with some aluminum and we'll see how it all comes out. All welded up, and I'm really stoked on this. Look at these dimes, man. We're really starting to get the hang of aluminum welding. Anyways, this bad boy, we've got to go on here, like that, and then rotate it. It's gonna end up probably being about there. And then all we gotta do is pipe everything down into there. After this, probably the next hardest thing would be the front pipe or down pipe. That could be a little tricky sometimes, but we've got tons of space for activities, so I'm not worried. And the wastegate's definitely gonna be really, really easy and simple. For the most part, we got the turbo part done. from here, we just gotta wait for the transmission to come in, weld up a few pipes, and we're done. She's gonna be chooching again. We'll go see Tanaka-san, get a nice tune on it. I'm thinking about changing to electronic throttle body while we're here, because if the turbo does have a little bit of lag, it would be cool to counteract that with some anti-lag. I think that would be really, really cool. G30 660 with maybe I might even go as low as a 0.61 rear housing. We'll test it out and see how it goes. But imagine that with a bit of anti-lag. Maybe we'll go to the 0.75 anti-lag, the same rear housing we're using on the Skyline. I think that would be super, super cool. And this is gonna be streetable. It's gonna be like kind of my grassroots drift comp car. So like we'll do like all the Kanto All-Stars. We'll probably go down to Mayhan and do some stuff. Like this is what this car's gonna be. And I think it'll be super reliable and a bunch of fun with a G30 and a bit of anti-lag and electronic throttle body stuff. I don't know. I'm excited, but I'm hyped. We got the most difficult part done, and this thing's coming back now. So get excited, guys. I don't really know what else to say. It feels like we didn't do much because all we did was like weld on an elbow and bolt a turbo on. But a lot of time went into that, and I'm not a pro welder yet. So the fact that we were able to even make it look that good is amazing. Well, I think today was a very successful day. We got a big boy turbo on this. We got plans for what we're doing engine-wise. And this thing's gonna really slay. I'm super excited. Can't wait to bring this thing back. I've already spoken to Okachan. We're gonna get that replacement door on this too. We're gonna get the rear fenders all sorted out. We're gonna get the full Golf R kit, the same kit that's on this car. It's gonna look sick. I'm so excited. Woohoo! I can't wait. It's gonna look awesome. So yeah, this thing's gonna come a long way very, very quickly. And Skyline's pretty much done now. There's a few tiny things I want to touch up just with some wiring and make it look better. Like I don't like that the harness just and that big plug is on the firewall. So when I've got some downtime and we're ahead on a bunch of content, I'll probably spend 1 to 2 days just tidying up all the wiring on this thing. I also want to redo the water and oil lines on the turbo so that everything's a little safer. Things are just kind of too close to the manifold, so I'll make new ones, and that's easy to do but just time consuming. For the most part though, everything's good. Car runs great. Tune. Some people were also saying in the comments, and I did a bit of research, but because the transmission had no oil on the dyno, it probably added more drag to it, which means that we have missing horsepower. So it would be really cool to go back to a dyno and do a couple power runs, maybe one local so that's not so far away, to see how much power this thing's actually putting down now that the transmission that's in it has oil. Still embarrassing, but yeah, otherwise it's kind of an update on everything in the shop right now. Things to come on this car very soon too. Got to pull that out and build a new motor. Abandoned S15's right around the corner. This thing, you'll know about it soon enough. But yeah, that's that. So thanks for watching today's video, guys. Smash that like button, write a comment, and subscribe. Also, if you don't have notifications turned on yet, please turn them on. And seriously, please subscribe. Right now, when I look at statistics, it says that 46% of my viewership are not subscribed. But that aside, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that rocked up for our very first episode of the new Sam show, the talk show that we announced and launched and released and everything last Friday, 8 p.m. EST. It was a great success. We're really excited to keep doing it and kind of like more perfecting the the flow of the show and adding more things in there and probably making it longer as well. The best way, if you have any stories or anything you want to see us cover on the Sam show, make sure you post it in the subreddit, the official SAMMIT subreddit, and then we'll be able to go through that. And cutoff will probably be Thursday, and then we'll be able to hopefully get whatever you guys recommend and suggest on the next episode. 8 p.m. EST, Friday evening is when we go live, and it's called The Sam Show, not because of my name, because it's Sam and May. it's a little bit of fun. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for everyone who rocked up. Also, if you did miss it, you can rewatch it. They will be on their own kind of podcast playlist on the channel, and you'll always be able to watch it, even if you are in a different time zone where that time doesn't work. Thanks for watching again, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.